Hi guys! So today we're going to be doing a unicorn makeup look for Halloween. I'm going to start with my Smashbox Photo Finish Primer. I'm going to put a little on my fingers that I just washed, and I'm going to be applying it all over my face with gentle circular motion. Now we're moving on to foundation. So I use the Tarte Full Coverage Amazonian Clay Foundation. It works really well for oily and combination skin. So I'm just going to put some onto the back of my hand and use my beauty blender, and I'm going to apply my foundation all over my face. For my concealer, I'm going to be using the Tarte Shape Tape in the lightest shade. So I like to also use my concealer to highlight, so I'm going to create a triangle on the tops of my cheeks to help highlight my cheekbone, as well as down the bridge of my nose, and then I'm going to use it to highlight the middle of my forehead, as well as cover the spots I have on my chin. Unicorns usually look pretty lively, so I'm also going to be using this peach color correcting concealer to kind of cover up the dark circles under my eyes. If you want, you can stop here, but I'm going to go back in with that same wet beauty blender, and I am going to blend it out. Now that we're done with all of our creams and liquids, we're going to go in with some setting powder to set our face. I'm using a translucent powder by Lancome. So I'm just going to take the little puff that comes in the container, and I'm just going to buff the powder on all over my face where I put all my foundation and my concealer. Now for me, with my acne, I just used a little bit more concealer on my spots I wanted to cover up, because I didn't want to go too full coverage with my foundation today. So I just kind of did my best to blend them in a little bit more, and then use a little bit more setting powder on top. With that done, I am now going to start on my eyebrows. I like to kind of brush them out a little bit so I can get a pretty natural shape. I'm using the Goof Proof Brow Pencil by Benefit in the shade 4.5 because that's the closest to my natural hair color. So I just go in with little strokes and try to just fill them in a little bit more in the spots where they're a little bare. I like to do it after my foundation, even though you can still make some mistakes because I have issues with the powder getting into my brows and making them look extra light and fluffy in a way I don't like. So I'm just brushing out my brows a little bit more so I can see what spots need more pencil, and also just distributing the pigment a little more, as well as giving the brows a little bit of a shape. Now I'm going to be using the Gimme Brow by Benefit. It's just like a little brow tint. It's a little brush. I like to call it mascara for your eyebrows. And I have that in 3, and I use that to kind of help blend the hairs together, get them more where they want to go, as well as softening the look a little bit. Now I'm going in with this powder contour set. This one is by BH Cosmetics, so I'm going to use this lighter warm brown shade, and I'm going to first go into the hollows of my cheeks to make it pop more, seeing we are going for a unicorn, so they're known for, you know, being a horse and having a long face. So we're just gonna really go for that look. So I like using the powders because I feel like they're a little easier to blend out than creams can be. So I'm also going underneath my neck, down into my neck, to warm it up and create more shadow and dimension. Now I'm going in with this bit lighter shade, and I'm going to be doing my temples as well as my forehead. I like to use a contour shade around my forehead to just make it look a little smaller and warm up the foundation. I will take my brush and squeeze it to help me do a nose contour so I can get those nice straight lines along the sides of my nose. Again, we're going for long, so a short button nose isn't the ideal in this situation, but we definitely try to make it work. Getting that same lighter color, and I'm just gonna go over the spots I already did, helping it to blend, as well as warming up that foundation color that we used. Now I'm gonna dip into the lightest shade. I grabbed myself a new brush so we don't end up looking dirty, and I'm just gonna pop it into those highlighted spots that we highlighted earlier. So the top of the cheekbone, the chin, the center of the nose, and the center of the forehead. Our blusher, so I have the Tutti Frutti Pomegranate Blush Duo. I think that's what it's called. So I'm gonna go in with my big fluffy powder brush, and oh, this is gonna go in a lot of places, but first is gonna start on our cheek, and I'm just tapping it in so we don't lose what we've already put on, and we can really get a good foundation of color down. So I'm gonna do the sides of my face. As you can see, it has a really pretty shimmer to it. It's the combination, it's more like a combination of blush and a highlighter, and so it has this really pretty like iridescent look to it. So I like to put a bit of blush on my nose and on my chin, just kind of for a fun, youthful, I guess, look, just kind of cute and blushy. Now that we have our basic kind of blushy skin happening, we are gonna go in with the MAC paint pot in soft ochre, and I'm eventually gonna find a brush to put this on with. There we go, unicorn brush for the win. So I'm just gonna take this and I am going to paint my eyelids with it, hence why it's called a paint pot. And it's gonna be what I use as my eyeshadow primer. So now I'm gonna go in with this fluffy eyeshadow brush, and I'm going to use that to kind of blend out that paint pot to get it more all over the lid and less cakey and patchy. For our eye look, I'm first going to go in with the Alyssa Edwards palette from Anastasia Beverly Hills. I'm going to put the link for that down below. So I'm going to start with the white in the palette, and I'm going to be using the brush that actually comes with the palette. I'm going to be using the fluffy side, and first I'm going to set that paint pot with the white eyeshadow. And put just that all over my lid as well, and my crease, and just all of it. I'm also going to take a bit of that white, and I'm just going to use it in the center of my nose, because, well, not all of them are, but to go with the unicorn headband I have, I'm going for kind of a white look. So I'm just going to take some of this white eyeshadow, and I'm just going to lighten up the bridge of my nose. And my Cupid's bow. And just a little bit under our icon with my fluffy brush, and I'm going to be using HOE. It's this nice kind of warm beige color, and I'm going to be using that as my base transition shade. So I'm going to be putting that in my crease and just blending that upward and outward. So now I'm going to be going in with Unicorn Tribe. Perfect color for this look. And I'm just going to be using that on top, pretty much covering what I just used the HOE for. So I'm going to be bringing that up, as well as doing my crease, doing kind of that outer V with this purpley shade. I like to do my eyeshadow in, I guess, a little bit different way than some other people who do their makeup. I like to build up my colors, so I'll do multiple light layers of an eyeshadow rather than putting a lot on and then trying to blend it out. I think it gives it kind of a softer blended look. So you can see I'm really building up that pigment on the outer corners of that unicorn tribe. And one of my other favorite colors, Texas Made. So I'm going to be using the packer end of this brush, and sort of from the center of my lid to the inner corner, I'm going to be just packing on that hot pink shade. For my next shade, I'm going in with Dream It. And whenever I hear the name of that shade, I always just think, well, don't dream it, be it. You might not get that reference if you're not old enough or weird as like I am. But anyway, so I'm going to use that blue shade, and I'm going to do my outer V with it. Again, doing it light and then bringing in more color and blending it out. Now I'm going to grab DDG. It's a kind of a purple shimmer, and I'm going to use that as like a blender between the blue and the hot pink. So I'm just going to use that sort of on the outer edge of my lid. So I'm going to pack it on and then fluff it out. Alright, so now I'm going to put Alyssa down for a second and grab my next palette. This is Riviera. It's also by Anastasia Beverly Hills. And I'm going to be first dipping into Seychelles, which is this really pretty kind of shimmery turquoise color. So I'm going to use my packer brush again, and I'm going to be kind of putting that on my brow bone and above my initial color, creating almost kind of a galaxy type vibe with it. And of course going back with my fluffy brush side and blending it out. I really like having multiple Anastasia palettes because a lot of times they kind of work really well together. I really enjoy them. So now I'm gonna in again with the Seychelles, and I'm gonna add a bit of that underneath our eye to just kind of bring that color around a bit more and incorporate it more into the look. So definitely took that color and brought it out a lot more. It's one of my favorite colors, so I definitely needed some more of it in this look. So now we're gonna go in with another eyeshadow brush, and we're going in to Bahamas, which is another hot pink shade, but they're different, so it's okay. And we're gonna sort of redefine that hot pink spot in the inner corner. Now we're gonna go in with Palermo, which is kind of a pink sparkly look, and we're gonna put that in the center of the lid to sort of blend the pink into that DDG a little bit more from earlier. Now we're going to use this teeny little liner brush for our inner corner. So I'm going to go into Inheritance, which is this really pretty shimmery yellow color. It's not so much gold, it's more of like a yellow. So I'm just going to take a little bit on my brush, and I'm going to pack that into our inner corner. It's going for kind of a primary colors kind of look. It's my favorite triad of colors, and I think it looks really good. So today I'm really shaking it up. I'm going to be using the NYX white liquid eyeliner. Usually I use black, but we're going to be doing a white cat eye to go along with our kind of light and bright magical look. So I'm just going to be doing a winged liner with this white. Just want to get right in there and make a big mess, but we're gonna clean it up, so it's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. So I'm taking my white, and I'm starting from the outer corner where I want my wing to start, and just working my way in toward the inner corner of my eye. I did get some on my eyelashes, but I'm gonna show you later how you can kind of fix that up. So there we go. We got some white going. Now we're just going in for the other side. That's the hardest part, right? It's making them look the same. Now if this, I usually have one end up chunkier than the other, and that's okay. That just means I need to go back to the nice one I made and just mess it up a little bit. Not really. We're just gonna make them look a little more symmetrical. So I'm just going in with my white. Done with our eyeliner. We're gonna go back in with some of this Bahamas hot pink on a powder brush, and we are gonna add that in to our cheek look as well as our nose, kind of redefining our contour a bit with these brighter colors. So for this, I'm really gonna go in. So I'm gonna start at the bottom of the edge of my brow and bring it all the way down my nose to accentuate that kind of long look we're going for. I'm also going to add some to my jawline, just an overall soft pink and fluffy kind of look. We're also going to bring that Bahamas up into our forehead. Like I said, we're pretty much redoing our contour, but with this really hot pink color. You know what else we're doing? We're going back in with that blush. We've decided we've not had enough. So we really want to be pink and sparkly, so we're just going ham with it. Now we're going back in with the Riviera for that blue, that beautiful Seychelles. Now we're going to be using this little eyeshadow brush, and we are going to be bringing that into our nose contour to give us just a real kind of mystical kind of look. But that's not all. Now we're going to bring that, we're going to incorporate it into that contour on our cheeks. Just kind of using it more so on the bottom line, dragging it through. We're adding some more of Dream It in as well, because we want to be fully incorporated when we do a look. So gotta put a little bit of everything everywhere. So I'm gonna add in that blue and blend it out. Now to really get that lip to look pouty, we're gonna add a little bit of a contour right underneath the lip, like at the top of the chin. So I'm gonna use a little bit of that blue and a little bit of that hot pink, kind of add into the look. And you can see how it exaggerates that shadow and really makes that lip pop out more. We're just touching up that Bahamas just a little bit more because we really want that vibrancy. So we're not done with our eyes yet. I kind of like to move around my face. So I'm going in with the Canas, which is this gorgeous purple, and I'm gonna add that kind of into the crease to sort of bring back some stronger colors. So this wasn't originally part of the plan, but I figured what the heck, and I added some of that Canas purple into the brow. Because why not have purple eyebrows? It looks like a fun time. So I'm using that little packer brush and adding that in. So you can see I also added it into my cheeks as well. And now I'm being a smarter person and grabbing this wide angled brush. It's going to give us a little bit better precision for the brows, so they're more on fleek. So now I'm adding just a little bit more of that Canas purple. I'm bringing it down into the nose contour some, seeing that when we put it in our brows, it's all about incorporating and blending things together. Now we're going in with the Anastasia Beverly Hills Dream Glow Kit. We're going to be using our fantail brush. I'm going to be using the color Unicorn, of course. Ignore the glitter on my face. Sometimes you make mistakes and you do things in the wrong order, so we're going to talk about it in a minute, don't worry. So I'm just going to take that and I'm going to put it where I would put my highlight, which would be the tip of my nose, the tops of my cheeks, my chin, and my forehead. Alright, we're going to grab our setting spray and we're going to spray our faces. Then I'm using this fan brush with some cosmetic holographic glitter, and I'm going to put that on my cheekbones, like in my highlight area, as well as a little bit on my nose. Depending on how much glitter you want, you might do several coats of this. So now we're going in with some mascara, but actually I lied. First we're gonna curl our eyelashes. So I've got my super cool eyelash curler here, and so I'm just gonna use it. I'm gonna squeeze and I'm gonna curl my lashes. Now that I've given my eyeliner sufficient time to dry, I'm actually gonna go back with one more coat of our white just to really brighten it up and make it a bright white. Now I'm just gonna go in with some black mascara. Make sure to coat each lash. Be careful not to get it on our eyeshadow that we've already done. So I'm just starting from the base and working my way up. It's best to continue brushing it out and not putting more on, because otherwise you'll end up with kind of clumpy lashes, and we're going for long. Then we're going to go in and we're going to do our bottom eyelashes, doing pretty much the same thing but going down instead of up. So the mascara did not darken the tops of my lashes like I was hoping, so I'm just going in with this black liquid eyeliner like marker. I'm just gonna darken them up myself. Get rid of some of the white. And you know what? If it's not perfect, that's okay. We've got more white eyeliner. We're just gonna go back in with a little bit more white and we're just gonna touch it up a little bit. It's fine. We got this. Eventually we'll get this. Alright, so we're just doing one more coat of mascara. I'm not a super duper fan of fake eyelashes, especially not for like Halloween and you're trying to run around all night and you don't want to be worried about how well your lashes are sticking. So we're just gonna go for a second coat of mascara and say all is well in the world. Going in with Stila's liquid eyeshadow in the color Perlina. I'm just using a little bit on my cheekbones, the tip of my nose, my cupid's bow, my brow bone, all those nice points. Alright, I'm gonna go in with this liquid lipstick in the shade Madison by Anastasia Beverly Hills. As you can tell, I really like their stuff. I really like the colors they have. So I'm just gonna go in and fill in my lips. So I just sort of start from the edge and work my way through, trying to not so much line my lips as fill them in. I like to start with my bottom lip because it's a little more of a simple shape compared to the Cupid's bow. So I just try to be slow and deliberate. I'm gonna start from the corner of my mouth again and I'm gonna pull up, and doing my little curve of one side of the lip and then the other. I'm more worried about the shape of the top of the lip as compared to the side, because you can always go in and fill in the side a little bit more. Now, while I love a matte lip look, I feel like with this being as sparkly and shimmery as it is, I couldn't just leave it like this, so I went back in with that Palermo, that pretty shimmery pink from Riviera, and I'm just gonna pop a little bit of that on my lips, creating almost like a little bit of an ombre effect. One more round of setting spray to seal in all that work we just did. Now we can take our hair down and become one with the unicorns. One of the things I like about doing kind of a makeup look like this and with this headband, so I can fully be a unicorn, is you don't have to go too crazy on the rest of the costume. You can just kind of wear maybe simple everyday clothes while still being wild and cute. And there you have it, a total unicorn look. You can find information on making the headband in the link below.